I bet. Yeah. Jim McMillan comes from Texas, the state of Texas, in the union since you were in high school playing gigs, correct?
Yes, I was recruited.
Yes, he was recruited. The youngest member of our band right here is Michael Deutsch on the drums. Mike, where are you from originally? Right from Los Angeles. What year did you join the AFM?
20 years ago.
20 years ago. Joe Cataldo from Niagara Falls, New York. He's my compadre from Niagara Falls, New York. Moved out here in 86. Joe, you've been a member since 86. Oh, yeah, you joined in Niagara Falls. I had to join for the Niagara Falls Concert Band when I was 16 years old. They said, you got to join the union, son. I said, okay, because I was scared. But don't mess with those union guys, right? Am I right? Am I right? Yeah, so we got a couple more tunes and then your speakers are coming up. One more song. Yeah, let's do the dogfight. It's D minor. What's that? Oh no, let's say, yeah. He's taking my mic.
Yeah, we can't talk into this mic because it's going to feedback.
What union are you with? I'm kidding. We're not going to play a song by Irving Berlin called Blue Skies because that's what we got right now. One, two, three, four.
Nothing but blue skies. Now I see bluebirds singing a song. Nothing but blue skies from now on. I never saw the sun rising so bright. Never saw things going so right. Look at how the day turned into dry. Like the sky, blue sky, smile at me.
You got a solo now.
Nothing but blue skies.
We've been told to stop playing. We really enjoyed it. We're so happy to be here, you guys. Good luck. I know you're not going to need any luck. You got tons of support. Thank you very much from Local 47 AFM and the Angel City Dixieland Band.
All right, everyone. Are you ready? This is what solidarity looks like, right here. I hope they're paying attention right down the road at the AMPTP to what we have going on here today. I'm Mike Miller. I'm Vice President with IATSE. I'm here with Lindsay Dougherty, the Principal Officer at 399. As we get into this rally today, we got a few people to recognize at the top of the show. First of all, the union crew from the IA locals that put all this together. All of the volunteers that came out this morning as early as 6 o'clock and dealt with the weather and the mud. Thank you guys. The LA County Federation of Labor for providing the stage, and of course our Local 47 represented musicians. Thank you all. A couple LA City Council members are here today in support of Hollywood Labor. Imelda Padilla, Hugo Soto Martinez, and Nithya Raman are here in the house today. I want to recognize IATSE General Secretary Treasurer James Wood and IBT General Secretary Treasurer Fred Zuckerman are also with us today. And IA Vice President Vanessa Holcrew. We have a great program today, and I think the timing of this with Hollywood Labor all together in a show of unity before we go into negotiations has never been more important. And the idea that we all came out on a Sunday morning to stand together in solidarity to drive home one message: nothing moves without the crew. With that, my friend and colleague, Lady of Labor herself, Miss Fuck Around and Find Out, Lindsay Dougherty.
Mike had one special request. He said, please don't swear today. So I don't know if that's fucking possible. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Everybody knows if you work in production, this is what it looks like, working in the trenches together, right? And we're all used to this shit show of production, and this is exactly what you get. So I also want to thank our union vendors. We have Coyote by Sunset, we have Herc, and we have other members that have union vendors as well that are here. Thank you so much for the support. And isn't it great to have a rally without a strike, actually? This is before we're going into bargaining. This is what solidarity looks like. Again, my name is Lindsay Dougherty, Principal Officer of Teamsters Local 399, best Teamster local in the country. I'm sure our General President will have something else to say about that. But we've been through hell and back, and there's only one way, and that's up from here. So this is exactly what we're going to do. And I am going to introduce someone here today that can tell you that it is possible that the AMPTP can make a fucking deal without a strike. And that's the General President from the American Federation of Musicians. Now, he traveled a long way from New York City, and he was recently elected the president last year, and he led the AFM in their victorious tentative agreement that they just got a couple weeks ago. I've enjoyed to get to know him in the last couple months with this increased solidarity amongst Hollywood. Please let me introduce to you all Gino Gagliardi.
Thank you.
I said Gino.
It's okay. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you very much. You know, I wish all of you could see what I'm looking at right now, because this is what solidarity looks like. And this industry has come together in ways that I have not seen in my entire career. I first started negotiating this contract back in 2008 as a rank and file participant. And I haven't seen this kind of solidarity in all those years. And it's because of all of you is why we were able to get the deal that we got in 12 sessions without a strike. We had two core issues in these negotiations. One was a fixed residual for subscriber-based video on demand, and we needed to create guardrails in regard to artificial intelligence and how that's putting us out of work. We were able to get both those things, and it was because of the solidarity of the musicians. I love those guys. I love those guys. You know, I don't know that I can say anything else after that, frankly, because that's what solidarity looks like. All of you here were responsible for helping us get the deal that we needed to get this time around, and for that, I thank you from my bottom of my heart. And everybody should know that the musicians are with you, and the musicians will be there for you, whatever you need, because that's the kind of solidarity I got from all of you, and that's what you're going to get it right back. And how about that band, huh? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tino. Let's give another round of applause for the president of the musicians, Tino Gagliardi. What? Oh, and Lindsay's going to take the mic back.
Leave it to a woman to run this shit. Now, speaking of women, I get to introduce two badass ladies of labor. And I have to say this because this is probably the first time in our history that we've seen this in California. So the head of the AFL-CIO is Liz Schuler. Yeah, she's not here today, but she's definitely supportive of our fight with the studios. But we also have the executive director of the California Labor Federation. This is
Lorena Gonzalez.
Lorena Gonzalez. No, I'm not done yet, sorry. Yvonne Wheeler, also LA Federation of Labor Executive Director. Now, both of them have been leading the fight for the Teamsters here, and also our film and television tax credit. Lorena Gonzalez not only held office in the Assembly, but also has helped us increase our tax credit here. And Yvonne Wheeler has stood alongside us just last year during the writer's strike and the SAG strike when we had Labor Community Services do the food drives. We had nothing but support. They always had our backs. And there's also some signatures that the LA Fed's doing. So if you see people that are trying to sign signatures, please sign the signatures. They're collecting them to fight a ballot initiative that would help support the creation of good union jobs and affordable housing here in Southern California to help end poverty. Now, all right, so Lorena Gonzalez, we'll see who swears more, but I think she takes the cake. Lorena Gonzalez.
So, brothers and sisters and siblings, how are we feeling today? My name is Lorena Gonzalez, and I am proud to represent all 2.3 million union members in the state of California. That represents 1,300 different local unions who stand shoulder to shoulder with our Hollywood unions as they fight for a good contract. Now I have to tell you, my shirt says strikes work. Because we saw they fucking worked last year, didn't they? And we saw that soon as not just the Hollywood unions had the balls to go on strike, but graduate workers at UC, hotel workers at our LA hotels, we had strikes up and down the state that showed employers, corporate interests, that working people have had enough, they're willing to stand up, push back, and that it'll save them a lot of time and money if they just negotiate a good contract at the fucking table. So we're hopeful that the work done by the Hollywood unions last year and your solidarity last year will lead the way for an easier contract this year. But if it doesn't, the entire labor movement in California will stand with you, and we will ensure that every day we are there to support you. And we will tell the motion picture industry, Mike Miller already said it, so now it's going to be a chant. Fuck around, find out. Fuck around, fuck around,
That's a hard act to follow. Good morning, sisters, brothers, and siblings. When I say union, you say town. Union, union, union. I'm excited to be here with you today, as we all know, and come together to remind AMPTP that Los Angeles is a union town. Take a look around you. Greedy employers do not stand a chance against all this solidarity in the Los Angeles labor movement. Over 100,000 workers took to the streets during a hot labor summer to show greedy employers and corporations again that when you make record profits on the back of workers, then the workers are entitled to the same profits. Share those profits with those workers. Together, Hollywood unions shut down Tinseltown. Since then, our siblings at WGA, SAG-AFTRA, and now AFM have all ratified historic contracts for their members. And the Los Angeles labor movement says to our siblings at IATSE and the Hollywood Basic Crafts, which include Teamsters Local 399, La Una 724, IBW Local 40, OPC MIA Local 755, and UA 78, that you can count on the full strength and solidarity of the Los Angeles labor movement. And every one of our members, over 800,000 union members, got your back. You are the backbone of Hollywood. You are the backbone, and nothing moves without the crew. So your skilled work deserves a contract that protects your health benefits, increase your retirement benefits, and preserve your workplace jobs and safety, especially with the rise of AI and automation. AMPTP, hear us loud and clear. These workers may be below the line, but that doesn't mean that their wages and benefits should be near the poverty line. Give these workers the best deal possible and let this industry continue working. If not, you'll fuck around and find out.
Now I'm being blamed for that. Before I introduce our next speakers, I want to talk a little bit about the idea that we have many crafts in one fight. So the IA locals that are here today, let's be heard. Local 44. Local 80. Local 600. 695 is in the house. Local 700. Local 705. Local 706. Local 728. 729. Local 800. 871. 892. 884. 839. We're also joined today by Local 52 out of New York, Local 33, Local 768, 857, B192, and the Teamsters and all the crafts. Many crafts in one fight, and without the crew, nothing moves. It's now my great pleasure to introduce the principal officers and executives of the three guilds that stood up all summer and set the table for our historic fight that's going to start tomorrow morning. Let's go! Russell Hollander is the National Executive Director of the DGA. Duncan Crabtree-Ireland is the National Executive Director of SAG-AFTRA. And Michele Mulroney is the Vice President of the WGA West. We were there in their fight. In all three of their fights, we were there for them. They've committed to be there for us, and they're here today to kick that off right now. So it's my pleasure to introduce them to you and hear from them.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, President Loeb and Principal Officer Dougherty, for inviting me to speak today. The Directors Guild of America is proud to join the AFL-CIO, our sister guilds, SAG-AFTRA, and the WGA, and all the other unions gathered here today to support the IATSE, the Teamsters, and the Hollywood Basic Crafts in your fight for a fair contract. I also want to thank my fellow speakers. It's an honor to share a stage with you. Our president, Leslie Linka-Glatter, is currently shooting in New York, but she extends her strong support for everyone here today. Our more than 19,000 directors, assistant directors, unit production managers, associate directors, and stage managers know that film and television programs would not exist but for your invaluable contributions. From drivers to grips, production and costume designers, to script supervisors, plumbers, electricians, to camera and editorial, and the numerous other crafts here today. All of you, you are the backbone that makes this industry move. We are here to support you, to make sure your contributions are respected, recognized, and don't go unnoticed, that you are properly paid for the hard work that you do. No one working in this industry should have to worry about making their next rent or mortgage payment, or worry that if they or a family member become ill, they will not have health insurance. No one should have to worry about providing their children with a quality education, or spend time agonizing over whether they'll have sufficient funds to support themselves and their family when they retire. No one should have to worry about being replaced by generative AI. And most importantly, everyone should know that when you leave home in the morning to go to work, or later in the day, depending on your call time, that you will return home safely at the end of the day. You have been our closest and most important allies for decades. Together, we have fought runaway production and pushed for film and tax incentives to support jobs here in California and elsewhere. We worked together to get our industry back to work safely during the pandemic. And most recently, we partnered to establish and bring online the Safety Advisors Program, because your protection and well-being should always be priority number one. Our partnership is long-standing and unwavering, and that won't ever change. And now, as you enter into negotiations, know that the Directors Guild and its 19,000 members stand with you, shoulder to shoulder. Know that we will always be there, united in steadfast support. We will fight alongside you so that every driver, craftsperson, and crew member for generations to come will inherit an industry that values them and treats them with the respect they so damn well deserve. Thank you. Good job.
This is what solidarity looks like. Wow, look at you guys. This is amazing. This is amazing. Good morning, everybody. I have to say, I really love seeing all these SAG-AFTRA members out here. And I saw a whole bunch of our strike captains out here as well. I see you too. Because SAG-AFTRA, make some noise. Woo! Come on, yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. That's the sound of gratitude. That's the sound of gratitude to the crew who are out here today, who stood by us throughout the entirety of our strike last year. You stood with us, you kept us strong. We saw you, we heard you, we appreciate you, and we are here with you today. I'm Duncan, Crabtree-Ireland. I'm the National Executive Director and Chief Negotiator of SAG-AFTRA, and I'm here on behalf of all 160,000 members of SAG-AFTRA who are grateful to everyone in IATSE, Teamsters, the basic crafts, electricians, plasterers, LaUna, plumbers, all of you who stood with us on the picket lines last year. As you get ready to start your negotiations, know that our members are inspired by what you do, by the work you do to make an economic system strong that's increasingly dominated by those who make nothing except for profits for shareholders. You build, you create, and you bring dreams into reality. That's right. That's why our unions are so materially connected, and that's one of the many reasons that you deserve a contract that reflects the value you bring to this business, that you bring to these companies. But here's the thing. Throughout your negotiations, the studios and streamers are likely going to use the same tired playbook that they used with us last year and with the Writers Guild. There'll be a public disinformation campaign aimed at sowing discord amongst all of you and us. There will be messaging around how your jobs will be replaced with technology. They'll say the lack of work and the extinction of pilot season is the union's fault. But we all know the truth. That's right. That's right. The employers are the ones who are chasing quarterly numbers instead of pursuing a sustainable entertainment industry. But all of us here today are committed to building a future where workers stay employed and where communities thrive. Union solidarity is the solution to corporate greed. I'll say it again. Union solidarity, all of you, is the solution to corporate greed. And judging by the sight of everyone who's here today, everyone who's chosen to spend their Sunday morning out here with us, union solidarity has never been stronger. There is no entertainment industry without you. You are the set, and it's time you set the standards. And I want you to say it with me. Nothing moves without the crew. Nothing moves without the crew. Nothing moves without the crew. Nothing moves without the crew.
Good morning, Hollywood labor. WGA, let's show some love to our crews and crafts. I am proud to stand here today representing my fellow WGA members to bring a message of unwavering support to IATSE, Teamsters Local 399, LaUna, IBEW Local 40, Pipe Fitters Local 755, and UA 78 on the eve of your critical negotiations. We all know, and the AMPTP should know by now, that Hollywood labor has never been more united. We know that using power builds power, and that our continuing solidarity is the only effective response to unchecked corporate greed. During last year's strike, the selfless solidarity you all showed humbled us every single day, and it sustained us through our long and arduous fight. I know I speak for every single WGA member when I say we will never forget the sacrifices you made. Even as writers, it's hard to find the words to express the depth of our gratitude. But the best way is to say loudly and proudly that the WGA has your backs. And we will stand with you every step of the way in your fight. Now, you may be known as the basic crafts, but let's be real here. There is nothing basic about what you do. Without all of you, our words would just languish on the page. You bring the stories to life that generate billions of dollars in revenue for these companies by virtue of the incredible skill, artistry, and commitment you all bring to your work. The crews and crafts are clearly the backbone of this industry, and it's time for the AMPTP to recognize the immense value of your contributions by giving you the fair deal you deserve. As for the AMPTP, we know what you did last summer. Their stalling forced 2 unions out on strike. Then their months of stonewalling prolonged those strikes unnecessarily. What is it they say about the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result? The AMPTP's tactics didn't work last year, and they're not gonna work now. What you are asking for in this negotiation is fair. Don't let anyone tell you you're being unreasonable. Diversified funding for your pension plans is reasonable. Protections for your health benefits are reasonable. Protecting and preserving jobs is reasonable. Safety in the workplace is reasonable. Now, the WGA is not afraid to fight when the cause is right. And you know what? Game recognizes game. We see the fight in all of you. We see how clear-eyed you are about what you need and deserve. Nobody should be underestimating your power and resolve as you enter these negotiations. So stay strong, knowing that your union family is by your side to the end, come what may. Solidarity now and solidarity forever.
Thank you, SAG-AFTRA, DGA, and WGA. I do want to acknowledge another bad bitch. There's a saying. The saying is, don't fuck with Stutzman. And that's Ellen Stutzman, who's the Chief Negotiator and National Executive Director of WGA, right here. So last year obviously wasn't easy. And the dual strikes impacted every single one of us. But I have to thank all the leaders for all of their commitment and courage in navigating that strike and working alongside with us as well. It was the first time in our history all the unions were together, and that's exactly how we move forward from here. Now, when people ask me, are the WGA going to support us? Is SAG going to support us? Fuck yeah, they're going to support us. They're supporting us right now, and they're going to be here every single step of the way. Now, I have another person I would love to introduce to you all. So the basic crafts, we have some of the business managers here, I think, up in the front. We have Carlo Perez from the Plasters. Yeah. We have Stephen Davis from IBW Local 40. We have Scott Pearson from the Plumbers. And so the basic crafts also include Teamsters Local 399, and it's the first time in history they had to change the name from chairman to chairperson. I wonder why. Now we have one last union. He is my co-chair. He is my brother from another mother. He is a pain in the ass. He's a business manager of La Una, also the Chingon, right? Chingon, did I say it right? He's the head cheese. Alex Aguilar.
What's up? Where all my laborers at? All right. Normally I don't write shit down, but I thought it might be good. It'll be quick. So, brothers and sisters, my name is Alex Aguilar. I have the privilege of representing the hard-working men and women of La Una Local 724. That was a joke. Some of you missed it. In the past, a lot of you didn't know who we were or what we did. But that changed. That changed, and I'll tell you when it changed, as my sister Lindsay over here is talking shit. That changed that night at the auditorium. When we all came together, when we hadn't been together in the same room, all the unions in Hollywood together in one room. That day changed the landscape of Hollywood solidarity going forward. All right, I forgot what I was saying next. All right, but because we stood together and we fought together through the hard times, our solidarity prevailed. And to our brothers and sisters from SAG-AFTRA and WGA, I don't need to tell you what happened. You guys won that battle. You won it, and you set the landscape for us coming up next. And now we have a new battle before us, but we're better equipped, we're better prepared, because today we stand up here, the IA and the basic crafts, together bargaining for the first time since 1989. And let me tell you, they don't know what's coming, because we're all coming together as a whole in solidarity, ready to move on and move forward. We're going to make sure that all of you, all of our members, continue to have decent wages, livable wages, so you could be proud of them. Health care so you could take care of your family. And a retirement that when you go and you're ready to hang up your tools, that you can live a nice, comfortable life. That's what we're going to do. Lastly, at La Una, we have a tagline, and I think a lot of you know what it is. It's Feel the Power. Today, I extend that to all of you, because in the days and weeks and months coming, these companies are going to feel the power of Hollywood labor. Can I get a feel the power on 3? 1, 2, 3. Feel the power. Thank you.
So, as Alex said, this is a historic time for us to all be together. It is the only way we're going to make the real change in our industry that you all deserve, is us fighting alongside one another. And if anybody knows, Teamsters aren't afraid of a fight, and IATSE sure as hell is not either. And then, although WGA and SAG-AFTRA had to strike last year to get what they needed, I'm here to tell the AMPTP, and they know it, and that's why they fear us the most, because IATSE and Teamsters together, if we don't get what we want, we will shut it fucking down day one. You heard nothing moves without our crews. There is no reason you can't get the deal that you deserve, the rest that you deserve, the safety that you deserve. That's right. Now, after COVID, during COVID, they wanted you all to go back to work. No problem. And you did it because you love your job and you'll do what it takes. But did you get compensated additionally for that? No. They wanted you to go right back to work as soon as when it's good for them, not when it's good for you. And we are here to tell them that we are going to get everything that we've been fighting for the last several decades, and then some, to fix Hollywood. So the goal is to have a credible strike threat so we can go in there strong with the leverage at the bargaining table so we don't have to strike, because I know none of you want to. But we will if we have to, if the AMPTP needs to learn the last fucking lesson for all. And that is, we will shut them down for good. Now, are you all ready to fight? I didn't quite hear you. Are you ready to fight? It's our time to win. Let's fucking go!
She's right. They would love for us to feel fear, to continue to create uncertainty and sow division. We are not going to be afraid. We are certain about what we have to have, and we will not be divided. And if they can't divide us, they can't defeat us. I now have the great personal pleasure of introducing the General President of 1.4 million Teamsters. Sean O'Brien's a fourth-generation Teamster out of Boston and knows what it takes to get it done. He also has been working together with the IA since he was in the field with Local 25 in Boston, working with our crews in New England and our stage Local 11 in Boston. Matter of fact, one of our guys still owes you a book. Ironically, that book's on Just Cause. And he promises he'll get it back to you. I wouldn't wait by the mailbox. Recently negotiated a historic deal with UPS for over 340,000 Teamsters. Most recently, a new agreement with Anheuser-Busch for over 5,000 Teamsters. And he stood up to a rodeo clown from Oklahoma on the floor of the U.S. Senate who thought he wanted to fuck around and find out. My money's on the guy that's worked for a living his entire life. And now it's my great pleasure to give you the General President of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, Sean O'Brien.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction. He said it exactly how I wrote it. Now look, I think we can all agree that we have a great opportunity in the film industry in California. I think we have a great opportunity to make certain that we keep reminding these employers, or as I like to refer to them, white-collar crime syndicate, why they are so successful. They are so successful because the men and women that go to work every single day behind the scenes make it happen. Now it's time, brothers and sisters, to make them aware that if they thought they had a fight last summer, they do not have anything. They can't even predict what's going to happen to them now. You think about this. Look at the motto, right? I can guarantee you on behalf of 1.4 million Teamsters, nothing like we proved last year with the WGA and the SAG-AFTRA and our brothers and sisters in the Teamsters Union, led under the direction of Lindsay Dougherty. I was never so proud to see the courage and conviction of supporting our brothers and sisters at both respective unions. Because the one thing that is predictable with these companies, because they're not that bright. You think they would have learned last year when they took on two strong unions. And those unions, like the rest of us, we don't have the deep pockets. We don't have the financing. But we've got intestinal fortitude. We got courage and conviction to take on the fight. And I think we all agree that we're desperate. And being desperate is great. Being desperate means that we don't care about consequences for our actions. We don't care about public relations. What we care about is making certain that our members who make these white-collar crime syndicates the success they are, it's not about what they're going to give us. It's about what we're going to demand and take moving forward. And are you ready to fight? Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to fight? Now listen, we as Teamsters have proven over the last 2 years, and I have the great pleasure to work with our great General Secretary Treasurer, Fred Zuckerman, that Teamsters, no matter what industry, whether it's our fight or not our fight, are going to stand strong and negotiate and help to get the best possible results for our members and their families. We did it at UPS. When everybody said, you're not going to be able to unite 340,000 Teamsters. And as a result of having a plan, having a result of executing that plan, having a result of making certain that our members were mobilized, one vision, one mission, to get the best contract in an industry. And what happened? We went out there and we made certain that we exposed Wall Street for how greedy they are. We made certain we went out and exposed the brand that was trying to destroy our members who provided goods and services like yourself through our toughest times of pandemic. We attacked them. We attacked them on the street. We had credible arguments. We had picketing every single day towards the expiration date of that contract. We demonstrated through unity, solidarity, and support that it was no longer going to be about Wall Street. It was going to be about Main Street. And I'm proud to say the threat of a strike is sometimes more effective than the actual strike. And we got a $30 billion settlement. We got job security, and we've got the industry-leading contract, and we're going to do the same here. Now, we can take the path of least resistance and go to the table and go through status quo. Status quo does not work. We need to make certain one thing, that whether you're ATSE or any of the other trades, that we are united, one mission, one direction. And as someone said, I'm a fourth-generation Teamster, and I'm very passionate about this organization. Matter of fact, we should all be passionate about our respective organizations. The one thing that's important I learned around a dinner table, that we can have our disagreements, we can have our debate, we can have tremendous arguments, but when we leave that dinner table and we walk out that front door, we have to define who that common enemy is. And that common enemy is the studios, private equity, and anybody else that doesn't want to reward the people like yourselves the best contract in the industry. And we are not afraid to strike. If these greedy corporations, whether it's Amazon, Netflix, Sony, or any of them else, Disney, if they choose not to reward our members, they are putting themselves on strike, and we will put them on their back, on their knees, begging for mercy. Now look, we can talk tough all we want, but we are only tough as the army that we have behind us. You have to make a commitment every single day. You know, someone asked me, is it tough to take people out on strike? Absolutely, it's tough. Is it necessary? Absolutely. Now, there's an analogy. What's the difference between a coward and a warrior? A warrior and a coward feel the same fear when they're going to battle. What separates the two is the warrior is willing to do whatever it takes to get that positive end result. And we are warriors. You are warriors. We're ready to take on this fight. Now, we have great leaders on this stage. You heard great support from the politicians. You heard great support from the general public. Now it's up to you to give us the courage and conviction, the intestinal fortitude to go out there every single day between now and the expiration date of this contract. And I will say this from the Teamsters, because although she might think she's a boss lady, that's the only, I don't answer to her. But anyways, not in public anyways. I'll pay for that later. I will say this, every single union that is involved right now needs to make a commitment that they're willing to do whatever it takes to get the industry-leading contract, and also make certain we all make a commitment as leaders of our great unions that if we do not have a contract prior to the expiration date, we will withhold our labor until these companies come back and give us demands that we put forth on behalf of the rank and file members. And also, on behalf of 1.4 million Teamsters, and we have a $300+ million strike and defense fund, so we are not compromised on supporting our members through this tough times if these companies choose to strike themselves. But I also have a message for all of Hollywood. We have the ability, because we are so diverse in our membership, we deliver food to the sets, we pick up trash to the sets, we deliver porta potties to the sets. We control commerce on these sets from the Teamsters end of it. And I can commit to you, whether it's right or wrong, legal or not legal, we will make certain, like we did last summer, that no Teamster crosses picket lines moving forward. We also have a message for these white-collar crime syndicates known as the studios, that when you fuck with the Teamsters or any other union, it's a full contact sport. Put your helmets on and buckle your chin straps. Thank you very much.
Thank you to our General President, Sean O'Brien. I have two bosses in this lifetime, and that's Sean O'Brien and Fred Zuckerman, our General Secretary Treasurer. Thank you so much for being here. And I gotta say, we could not have gotten through last year without the two of them and their support for all of our Teamster members. We have 15,000 Teamsters that work in the industry nationwide and in Canada. Now, before we move on to our last speaker, I do want to acknowledge all the IATSE locals that are here and their principal officers. We have Local 44, Toby Bays. Local 80, DeJohn Ellis. Local 600, Alex Tonneson. Local 695, Scott Bernard. Another bad bitch, Local 700, Kathy Rapola. Local 705, Adam West. 706, Karen Westerfield. 728, Greg Reeves. 729, Bob Denny. One of my favorites, we used to work together on Monk. Local 800, Chuck Parker. Local 871, Patrick Abarovich. 892, Brigetta Romanoff. 884, Marcy Brooks. And 839, Steve Kaplan. Thank you so much for your leadership. Now, going into bargaining, we are only as strong as our members and the marching orders they have sent us carry us into the negotiations. But we need smart leaders and strong leaders at the top to navigate the intricacies and nuances of bargaining a strong agreement. And I gotta say, with the 13 locals in LA and the Area Standards Agreement, it's a big, big job to do that. And International Alliance of Theatrical and Stage Employees President Matt Loeb has been leading IATSE since 2008, but he has also been a rank-and-file union member, organizer, and staunch unionist for decades. Now, during his presidency, he's grown the membership in tens of thousands of the IA locals. And that's with the priority in organizing. Now, that is key. That's the lifeblood of our unions. In 2022, the Teamsters and IATSE, which Matt and Mike both came to our international office in Washington, D.C., and met with our General Secretary, Treasurer, and General President to renew a mutual aid and assistance pact. And that was the very beginning of our solidarity that's been reunited with IATSE and the Teamsters, and I'm very proud of that. Now, last year, if we learned anything, we are more powerful when we fight together, and it is the greatest honor to actually work side by side with Mike Miller and Matt Loeb, and this is how we're going to get it done for all of the below-the-line crew. And I am proud to invite to you the General President of IATSE International, Matt Loeb.
Thank you. Good morning, brothers, sisters, and kin, and I don't use those words lightly. This is our family. And we're here together. Look around at somebody you don't know and tell them you got their back. Because that's what it's going to take, folks. And we're here together, and this is a crystal clear message that every union in the entertainment industry is standing here together. And that has never happened before, but I suspect it will continue to happen into the future as we build strength and solidarity. And you can look around, the directors, the writers, the actors, the Teamsters, the basic crafts, the politicians, the American public favors unions. And the reason is we are the balance. We are the antidote to the greed that's been laid upon us. And all of the efficiencies that we've created flow up to make the rich richer, and that's just not the way it's supposed to be. Now, our employers have vast resources, as you know, but they don't have this. The studio lots are empty without this, folks, and nothing moves. So we stand here together to demand fairness, to demand a living wage for everybody who works in this business. There's enough to go around. And we will secure and maintain and fight for your benefit plans, because you deserve, after a pretty difficult career in a pretty odd business that has you going to work at some pretty odd hours, you deserve to retire in dignity, period. You deserve to take your children to the doctor and to take care of your aging parents and to make sure that you can make a college payment and make the lives of those who come next better. But those are the rights of working people across the board. Every working people, not just our industry, and we have something to say about what happens here, but we also all have something to say about what happens in this country. And this is our country, and we should be the ones who are putting workers on the forefront of everything that is done, supposedly, in some cases, on our behalf. Now, we are family. We are brothers, sisters, and kin, and I have to admit that, you know, in my family, there's always a headlock after Thanksgiving dinner. Somebody ends up in a headlock because families have issues, right? And so Sean, President O'Brien, said it. We put that aside when we go to the table, when we walk out the door. And we put that aside because just like with your family, who's the first one out the door when somebody's in trouble? We are. We stand up. We protect each other. We fight back. And that's what we're going to start tomorrow at the bargaining table. The IATSE, the Teamsters, and the basic crafts participate in the same benefit plans, and our interests in that respect are absolutely identical. And we'll have other interests that are different and that are nuanced to the various organizations that'll be bargaining, but we will support each other to get that deal done, because that's the only way it's going to get done, is with everybody here. You all know people from the unions that are standing around you on the jobs you're on. And now you're standing somewhere with a lot of folks you don't know. And you're going to have to lock arms. You're going to have to stay strong and give us the power at the bargaining table, because it comes from you. And there must not be a crack of light between us, because these folks are experts at dividing people. And that's what they do. And the labor leaders you heard from today are experts at uniting people, and that's what we have to do. Folks, there's enough to go around. Is there enough to go around? There's enough to go around. Is there enough to go around? All right, well, let's go get some of it for ourselves. And we are committed to the careers that you love, that you have built. And frankly, people call it movie magic. Well, it's not really magic, because we know the trick, right? Because we create the trick and we rig the trick, and they bring us the equipment to put on the trick like a magician. But it isn't magic. It's damn hard work. And so we will fight together. You enlighten and entertain more people on the planet than anybody else. And I will tell you that the IATSE emblem at the end of a television show or a movie is seen by more people on Earth than the union logo of any union on Earth. People know that it doesn't happen without you. And your work is amazing, and it is sometimes mystifying, even though there is a trick, but it's hard work. So I say to you that all work is worthy. Everything that everyone here does is worthy. It's worthy of respect and dignity. It's worthy of the security and that's a word we're going to hear a lot about: security. We're not going to let artificial intelligence replace human beings. And I will say, and this may be a little bit of a miracle, but in my mind, artificial intelligence and the efficiencies, which our employers like to call them, which is really money, those advantages need to flow down to the workers. Those advantages need to take pressure off our jobs so we can enjoy our families and live these lives and not have to work 80-hour weeks. If that efficiency comes, it needs to come to us and our jobs, and we will use that to do our jobs better. But we want some of the spoils of artificial intelligence. And we're going to fight like hell to keep these jobs and these people who've committed their careers on Front Street. They deserve more than just the basics. Our members and the studios can afford to give us more than just the basics for a good life, for a solid life, and for a secure life. And folks, there's enough to go around. Is there enough to go around? Is there enough to go around? Let's go get our piece. Lock arms, stay together, be safe, and be well, my brothers and sisters and kin. Thank you.
All right, everyone, are we ready to fight? Are we ready to fight? All right, we're getting ready to take a group picture, so let's have you all grab your signs, grab your union colors, and let's start throwing them up, everyone. All right, fuck around, fuck around, fuck around, keep it going, fuck around, fuck around, fuck around. Are we ready?